Yo, yo, yo. What's going on? It's been a minute since I've been live. We're going to do something different today. Do something a little different today. I got green juice, cucumber, celery, apple. If I want a little sweet, y'all come on in, whoever available. If not, I'm going to be running my mouth and y'all see it when I upload it. Say no green juice is a smoothie though. Bananas and berries. Greetings, family. What's going on? What's going on? What is going on? Talking about what's the rules to the game. Meek, what it is, what it is. Whoa, now. I want to talk about something real quick. I'm going to give you a couple minutes for some people to roll up in here. Yes, indeed. How's everybody doing? Let me know you in the chat. Let me know where you from. You feel me before we get to it? I know I see a few heads in here. Let's go, let's go. Before I go on my rant, I had to let y'all know, health is wealth. What it do, what it do. Ready for the market to open, man. Hey, look, them Saturdays when the market be closed, Forex market be closed, be tough. But that's a good time for you to go back and backtrack, see what you did wrong, see what you could do better. You know what I mean? But today, I know it's been a minute since I've been live. How I want to break this down. All right. What I realized, you know, I'm 30 years old, living over here in this system, and I ain't never read the Constitution, not all the whole way together like that. You know, just kind of some excerpts here and there. And what I realized is like, it's just like playing Monopoly. And the thing is about Monopoly, it's like every time you go to somebody else's house, they got some house rules. You know, so you always got to check, you know, don't nobody even read the rules in Monopoly. They just make up their own rules. But the thing is, you can't go to everybody's house playing with them rules. All right. Now, another thing, I'll put it to you like this. You know, when I was coming up, you know, I came up in the era of Michael Jordan. Basketball was my favorite sport. You know, I liked to hoop. It was a period of time, you know, where that's all I really wanted to do was hoop. But I traveled a lot as a child. I'm going to make my point. Y'all know I make a long story long. But I traveled a lot as a child. And what I realized by each area that I went to, everybody played the game a little different. But more or less, if you go play 21, I think they might have changed it to 24 because of late great Kobe. You know what I mean? But it was 21 when I was coming up. And everywhere I went, it was different. You know, the backboard might be out of bounds. You know, you got to take it back past the free throw line. You got to take it back past the 3-point line. When you break ice, it might be 3 points. It might be 2 points. It might be 1 point. You know, you miss at the last shot. You go back to 12. You go back to 15. Everywhere I went, it's a little different. But let me tell you something. When you get into the NBA, you can't be playing in the NBA with them rules from your hood. You got to play the game and the rules that the NBA give you. Okay? So I feel like we over here playing Monopoly with house rules, wondering why we getting cooked. Okay? But the insight I want to give you is to the point is, if you never read the rules to Monopoly, imagine going to a Monopoly contest, a competition, and you get cooked because you ain't never knew the real rules, even though they've been in front of your face. All right, it's different levels to it, and I ain't no way, no shape or form no guru or no master teacher. I'm just a brother learning this information just like you. Matter of fact, I think I should have learned this stuff when I was 12 or 13. But y'all know how it is coming up, how we come up. So this is just for entertainment purposes only right now. Or we say educational, rather. Nothing legal or nothing about it. So what I want to read, though, all right, is the 14th Amendment of the Constitution, Section 1. And I want to just talk about a couple words out of there, all right? So one, you might want to invest in something like that right there. That's a Black's Law Dictionary. This is a 10th edition, so it ain't no older. It's a newer edition. And some of the older ones have some gems in there because they like to change stuff up and hide stuff. They even have pocket ones, all right? But let me get to reading this. All persons born or naturalized in the United States and subject to the jurisdiction thereof are citizens of the United States of the state wherein they reside. No state shall make or enforce any law which shall abridge the privileges or immunities of citizens of the United States, nor shall any state deprive any person of life, liberty, or property without due process of law, nor deny to any person within its jurisdiction the equal protection of laws. Now, some of you all may be like, man, what is you talking about? But here's the thing about reading some of this information. I once heard a wise man say, if you are reading, and specifically, hopefully you're reading to comprehend, and you don't understand the word or comprehend the word, you need to go look up each word that you may not be that quite sure about. And sometimes, even if you think you know, you got to go look this up anyway. So what I got my Black's Law Dictionary right here. All right. Now, I just read y'all the excerpt, but y'all can go look this stuff up too. All you got to do is Google the 14th Amendment. It'll pull up for you. All right. As well as they have the Constitution in the back of the Black's Law Dictionaries. So what I want to do is I just want to go look up the word person real quick. Hey, y'all drop down in the comments. Let me know if y'all in here, man. I see some of y'all in here watching. All right. I'm doing something a little different today because as I was going over this stuff, I said, you know what? Maybe I want to share some of this information with people because I wish I had that insight. You know what I mean? And if I'm 30 years old and I ain't never read the Constitution and to the point where I can comprehend it, but I'm over here trying to do business and stuff, then, you know, I don't see myself being great if I don't understand the whole playing field. So let's get into person. First of all, the first definition or the first sense they have of the word, it says person, a human being, also termed a natural person. So I think a lot of you all, you know, that's fair and simple to see. But let's take it a step further because they have so many senses of the word person, okay? Absent person, disappeared person, displaced person, homeless person. Okay, they have a lot of different things. But these are some key ones that I want to touch on, okay? All right. Private person, all right? Someone who does not hold public office or serve in the military. Okay, private person. Once again, that's the first sense of private person. Someone who does not hold public office or serve in the military. The second sense of private person is an entity such as a corporation or partnership that is governed by private law. We can run that back one more time. An entity such as a corporation or partnership that is governed by private law. So you're telling me this not, I'm reading this. A corporation or partnership that is governed by private law is considered a private person. Now, when I was coming up, I never learned that a person could be an entity such as a corporation could be a person. All right. That was new to me. So when you start reading some of this stuff, like hence the 14th Amendment, all right, and you start reading some stuff, you have to realize what sense of the word are they using person. All right. Let's go to another one. All right. Artificial person. All right. An entity such as corporation created by law and given certain legal rights and duties of a human being, a being real or imaginary, who for the purpose of legal reasoning is treated more or less as a human being. An entity is a person for purposes of the due process and equal protection clauses, but it is not a citizen for purposes of the privileges and immunities clauses in Article 4 and in the 14th Amendment. Also termed fictitious person, juristic person, judicial person, legal person, moral person. All right. But the main things I'm looking at is artificial person. All right. An entity such as a corporation created by law and given certain legal rights and duties of a human being. A being real or imaginary. All right. So it just goes to show you an imaginary person. All right. In layman's terms, can get more or less, you know, the same type of legal reasoning and rights as a human being. Now, I'm going to go to this. I know this is boring stuff to y'all. I know it's boring. I know it is. It's cool. But I just felt the need to share this. And y'all can take it and run with it. But I with everything going on in the world right now, as far as the economy, as far as just everything, we sit over here and we point the finger because we may not be in the best position, but a lot of us don't even understand how we got in this position for real and why we here right now. All right? But the game and the blueprint is here, and these people put it in front of our face. And you know, they took this land by force. So, you know, it's best that you're educated and prepared on all fronts, mentally, physically, spiritually, emotionally. You need to be ready with all this stuff and stop being distracted by all these things they got going on out here. As soon as I find, I'm looking for citizen. All right, here we go. Here we go. I'm gonna say it's not born. Hold on, it's not born. It's very much educational. Enjoying. All right, thank you for going over this. Much love. Say you muted. All right, seem like everybody else hearing me, Willie Jones. All right, I appreciate y'all. All right. All right, citizen. Someone who, by either birth or naturalization, is a member of a political community, owning allegiance to the community and being entitled to enjoy all its civil rights and protections, a member of the civil state, entitled to all its privileges. Okay, all right. So let's see here. Citizen by naturalization, federal citizen, natural born citizen. Natural born citizen, a person born within the jurisdiction of a national government. Okay, naturalized citizen, a foreign born person who attains citizenship by law. All that stuff makes sense, more or less. All right, but here's the second sense of the word citizen. For diversity jurisdiction purposes, a corporation that was incorporated within a state or has its principal place of business there. Okay, let me run that back. For diversity jurisdiction purposes, a corporation that was incorporated within a state or has its principal place of business there. So those are two different words, two different senses, person and citizen, that clearly says, all right, that clearly says that a corporation or entity can be considered, it depending on the sense and how it's used, a person or a citizen. Something else that we're not that privy to is that, man, one of my mentors told me this. I said, bro, how am I supposed to learn all this information? It's so much information. He said, fam, he said, we went to school. They taught us how to learn. They might have not didn't teach us the right thing and didn't teach us about much that we needed to know, but they taught us how to learn. So that means if you really want to learn about something, we have the ability to learn. But the one challenging thing is unlearning, you know, to relearn something else. So just to go back to this, because I only looked up 2 words out of the 14th Amendment. And the reason I'm reading that, because that one has a big play on words dealing with slavery and different things like that. But you see, if you look at the 14th Amendment, you look at the word persons and look at the word citizens, okay? They're lowercase. But if you remember in grammar school, you know, proper nouns, all right, are supposed to be capitalized. And it'd be little details like that that we may not see or comprehend at the time, and we just take it like, you know, with how we'll be talking. So be very, very aware that when you're listening to all this political stuff going on, be aware when you're reading information. Just think, when you hear the word person now, they may be talking about entities such as businesses and other things like that. Hear the word citizen, they may be talking about things like that, because they very well said some persons can have some of the same rights as citizens. Okay, so this is just some of the stuff I'm coming across, because all these different things are different. Now we all out here doing the different thing and standing up for what we believe in and everything like that. Some people may not do well with all this legal jargon, but I'm telling you, if you out here in this matrix and you doing business and entrepreneurship and you want to understand how the successful, so-called successful people, or the so-called elite people are moving, and the so-called elite people are not paying taxes and doing this and that, they're looking at stuff from a completely different perspective. But all I'm saying is, look, if you're gonna play Monopoly for real, you need to read the rules. Stop assuming you know what the rules are, and let's educate ourselves, you know, because this still is mind-blowing to me, all right? Because believe it or not, there's a difference between a lowercase citizen and a capital K citizen. There's a difference between the United States and the United States of America. But the way that they use these words when they speaking about them to us, you know, we're not educated, so it goes right over our head. All right. And another thing, when you out and about and you signing your name, your so-called name, you know, that's really pretty much you're in agreement with something. That's like it's binding a contract. All right, or you know, or taking responsibility for whatever it is. Okay. And just a side note, while I'm sitting here rambling, I know many of y'all may not use checks, okay? But a lot of checks, when you had a little spot where you're supposed to sign your name, a lot of times, you know, it say something along the lines of authorized representative. So you might want to ask yourself, if these are personal checks, then who am I really signing for? You understand me? But anyway, I want to do something a little different and let y'all know that, you know, I want to do better, because it's a shame I'm 30 years old out here, you know, doing business or working towards being better, and never really read the Constitution in full. And it was two things that stood out to me, you know, doing my studies and coming across it, just simple things like the word persons, or, you know, artificial person. But you pretty much just told me in my mind that, you know, imaginary persons can have rights more or less similar to a human being, which I think is ridiculous. But let me put it to you like this. For those of you all who may receive this, imagine going to court, okay? Imagine going to court, and or you could just be, you know, you could just be observant, and you say, well, okay, we're gonna call Apple and Amazon. You know, it's a court case against Apple and Amazon versus John Doe. Okay, Apple and Amazon are not a natural person. Now, what they are entities or corporations, or artificial persons. All right. So if artificial persons can have that much power, you got to understand the game that they playing out here, and they are playing with your name, at least what you think your name is. So, you know, but look, I'm still learning all this stuff, and I realize my purpose may be not to educate people in the fashion or where something is law, even though this stuff is coming out of a Black's Law Dictionary. But more or less, I feel like one of my purposes is to plant seeds with people, so they can take that information that resonates with them and go out and do their own service or business or whatever it is, or whatever that may be. All right. So with that being said, that's all I wanted to do was a quick live, because as I was reading over this stuff, I said, somebody need to hear this that probably ain't heard it before, or, you know, somebody may need a refresher. And really, it helps me, okay? So whatever y'all doing out there, you know what I mean? Learn, implement, teach, because it's going to make you step your game up to that next level. Anyway, I love y'all. Appreciate y'all. Y'all too smart to be broke. I'll see y'all soon.